Good morning, everybody. My name is Stacy Renee. I'm a mindset coach, a life coach, a life on life's terms coach, because life is lifing. And a part of life lifing is what if we're wrong? Is a lot of people are trying to navigate, they just don't want to be wrong. This fear of uncertainty. Many people have lost jobs, and then what happens is if you're putting out resumes, if you're doing the next right thing, a job is going to appear. But that uncertainty, first off, is in what if I've lost this job? What if I've lost this relationship? What if I've lost this? As human beings, one of our biggest fears is losing what we have or not getting what we want. That's actually two of our biggest fears, isn't it? So it's the uncertainty. So we're going to talk about tonight, I'm going to have my Monday Night Live at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're going to talk about the fear of, the fear of being wrong. What if I'm wrong? The fear of uncertainty. And where did we learn to get that? Where did we learn to be afraid of being wrong? I like to help people in my coaching. I don't encourage people to become someone else. A lot of us have already become so many other people to please others. I like to help us to return to ourself in that childlike state. Not childish. Childish is emotional immaturity typically, and we can do that too. So it's not about judging. We have discernment. This channel is about growth, and we have a wonderful community here, and I hope that you'll join us. Because the fear of being wrong wasn't something we were born with. When we returned to our childlike state, the fear of being wrong just wasn't even in the calculation. So it's about healing the parts of us that learn to be afraid to be wrong. Because in learning to be afraid to be wrong, sometimes we don't know which path to take. And, I've had to learn myself. I had those fears too. And there's not a wrong path. I mean, there is if you're doing something illegal, immoral, and socially unacceptable. I'm not talking about that kind of path. I'm talking about the job decisions. Because if you keep putting out, we talked about faith last week. If you keep putting out resumes, you must have faith that you're going to get a job. And I worked with a client who was experiencing this, and now she's got a job offer for 2 jobs. So it comes down to, what do you want? And when we haven't learned to consider ourselves and what do I want, when we've been running on people pleasing and everybody else what they want and trying to learn to consider ourselves, it can seem like a big task to know, what do I want? So in understanding that either job, she's going to learn something. And so not being afraid of the path, but aligning with what we want without the fear of being wrong. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, join us tonight at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have a great community, and I hope to see you there. Thank you so much. Bye. Have a magnificent